I'm packing up my trailcraft boat for another trip up the Kimberley. Now, 35 years ago, I had an old pearling lugger here, and I sailed up the coast and I went to an amazing place. And I showed that place in my film Follow the Sun, and I called it the Horizontal Waterfall. And I still get phone calls and emails from people all over the world asking me about the Horizontal Waterfall. So this is my latest trip to this very special part of the Kimberley. Just over here, there's some mullet that have just hit the surface feeding. Let's see if I can get one. How's that? Very nice mullet. I just get my hat. The best way to eat mullet like this is to light a small fire, get them straight onto the coals while they're nice and fresh. There's a few nice oysters here, so I'm going to use an old Aboriginal trick to get myself a feed. I've just collected some spinifex from the rocky country. Now, just light the spinifex. In a couple of minutes, it'll cook the oysters. And there we have cooked oysters. And aren't they sweet? And this is where BHP made all their money, at the top end of King Sound on Cockatoo and Coolan Island. You can see here this incredibly pure iron ore. If you get 2 pieces of it, they tell me that it's so pure you could just run a weld along here and it will weld together. This is my crocodile alarm dog. See the crock here? We're stuck on this high reef waiting for the tide to come in. Just have a quick cup of tea on the old Primus. Once there's enough water across this reef, straight down to the horizontal waterfall. Another hook up. Nice little queenie. Straight back in the water. Oh, look at this. Oh. Now you're talking.
Now we're into the
That
fish.
is one of the nicest eating fish in the north. Now we can have a feast for lunch. This hand line is going off. Oh. Here he is. Oh. Lovely spotted cod. Normally I'd keep him. These are delicious to eat, but I've already got about 3 jack. So pop him back in the water. And here comes the tide. And with the tide come the sharks, and in a few minutes, we're off to the horizontal waterfall. I'm just outside the first entrance. You can see it there. This one is quite wide. You've only got about a 1.5 to 2 metre drop here at the moment. The one that we want to see is about another 400 metres through. That's a very narrow one. That's a dangerous one. What I want to do now is kick the motor over, go straight through there, down to the second one. Well, we tried to film coming through there, but the cameras just got smashed up, the boat spun around. This really, to me, is one of the most spectacular places in the whole of Australia. Now we've got to go down to the second one. This is early the next morning, and the tide is now coming out. I have never seen anything like this. It's still shadow in there, but there's about a 12, 14 foot, so about a 4 metre drop. The power in there is unbelievable. It's all quiet now. We're just about to drift through on the change of tide. Just have a look how flat this is. Only 3 hours ago, there's a 4 metre drop there. We're going inside now to film it from in there. without doubt, this horizontal waterfall here at Talbot Bay would be one of Australia's greatest natural wonders. We've got 11.5 metre tide coming in here at the moment, and when you take the boat out in that white water, it is the ultimate adrenaline rush. I've got to be a little bit careful here because I've got a back current taking me down there, and it's time for me to get out of here. Heading back to Derby now, but on the way I've got to pick up a couple of road crocodiles. Oh, just have a look at this mackerel. This would be the most remarkable fish that I've ever caught in my 40 years on the Kimberley coast. We're just motoring into the bay here. I saw a huge splash. Some larger fish was chasing this one. This one ended up on the reef. We rushed over. The fish had hit its head. It was stunned on the bommy here. I grabbed a spear and zapped it just before it took off into the water. Quite remarkable. Now, Bund, look, there's our lunch. You've probably noticed in this series that I'm using a very different type of anchor. Well, this is a new design. It's called an anchor right. The best way to demonstrate is just take it out here on the sand and I'll show you how it works. You can see here it's got a semicircular piece of steel here. So when you drop it over the bow, and if it hits the ocean like that, as you pull it, it automatically rights itself. If for any reason your anchor is fouled on the bottom, see how I've got it stuck here on the rock? What you do is you drive back over the anchor. Now watch this shackle, see this D shackle? It slides along here, comes back on the anchor and it pulls out. I have to check the area here for crocodiles before I pull the boat out. Now, to catch these crocs, I've just got a long bamboo pole here and a very small harpoon that just goes in the end of the bamboo there, just like so. With the spotlight, we can pick up the eyes of the croc, and when we get close, straight into the shoulder of the croc.